Video showing the moments leading up to the mass shooting on South Street. Two men can be seen confronting another person just before the gunfire. The man in the black t-shirt was critically injured, while the man in the white t-shirt, identified by police sources as 34-year-old Gregory Jackson, has died. Matt, when you watch this video, you find yourself pulled in two directions. It is shocking and horrible, but these days it's also not shocking, and that is a horror in itself.
I can only imagine what it was like being there, seeing this, hearing this, witnessing this take place right in front of you. And as you know, that was just the beginning. In the end, 3 people were killed and 11 others were wounded. Multiple shooters fired into the crowd on South Street at 11:30 Saturday night. We know an officer was there and fired at one of the gunmen while they were still actively shooting into the crowd. Police say 5 guns were fired and they believe there were 4 shooters, so that tells us that one of the shooters probably had 2 weapons.
With injuries ranging from shot in the legs to the arms and even chest, and one man who was shot in the to help people during the chaos. Take a look.
When I had a giant hole in my New Balance sneakers and there's smoke coming out of my foot, that's how I knew it was real. Everybody was running for their lives. People was running. I had to, drag some men and women in because they were shot. They couldn't walk no more. You get shot in the leg, you're handicapped. You're helpless. So what if the maniac wanted to attack these men and women and finish them off? But luckily, the Philadelphia Police Department, they some great heroes. I ain't gonna lie.
3 people killed, 11 injured around 11:30 Saturday night on South Street. One of the bullets struck and killed 22-year-old Christopher Minners. The Teacher Association AFT Pennsylvania said in a statement, quote, "Our hearts are heavy today with the passing of Chris Minners, a 2nd grade boys resident advisor at Girard College and member of our union, yet another victim of senseless gun violence." School officials say Minners was an innocent bystander who had just turned 22 and was celebrating with family and friends. Loved ones and friends of another person killed identified him as Greg Jackson. He was an avid skater at Millennium Skate World, well known in the boxing community, and is believed by police sources to be one of the alleged shooters. Another victim killed was 27-year-old Alexis Quinn, believed by police sources to be an innocent bystander in all of this. So,
Not alone here. Across the country, there were at least a dozen mass shootings just during the weekend period. In Chattanooga, Tennessee, 14 people were shot. 3 of them were killed when several gunmen opened fire at a nightclub. It was the 2nd mass shooting in Chattanooga over the past week. And Saturday in Phoenix, Arizona, 8 people were shot and a 14-year-old girl was killed when a fight at a strip mall escalated into a shooting.
This victim.
Rowdy Nation TV, welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so when I drop a video, you guys can be notified. Share the video. Let's get to it. 13 mass shootings took place over this weekend, leaving 18 dead and 72 injured. Okay, people, that clip you just seen that just came on, that's the aftermath. I'd rather say that's what was going down. That video was being taken. The chaos was after the shooting had took place, and you can see the guys that got into it in the initial beginning of the video. There was 2 guys fighting. There was some guys fighting, and that's what led up to the shooting. Now, 3 people have been killed and at least 11 injured in a mass shooting in Philadelphia on Saturday night. Now, in a spate of recent mass shootings in the last couple of weeks, we had Buffalo, New York, which 10 people were killed. We had Uvalde, Texas, which 21 people were killed. And we have Tulsa, Oklahoma, which I believe 3 or 4 people were killed, right? So there's just been a rash of mass shootings that's been plaguing and gripping the United States for the last few years now, right? And it's only getting worse. Now, gunshots initially rang out during the altercation around 11:30 p.m. in the heart of the South Street's popular hub of bars and restaurants. And, this looks like a scene in any city in America. I know in my city, you go downtown, there's a certain stretch of a couple of streets where it just have a row of bars where people go and they party. And I think that this goes on in every city across the nation because we have the same problem in our city. When you go downtown, people... Let me tell you something, people. If you don't know, and if you got your kids, like my kids, they like to go downtown and party. Downtown, in any downtown city, And if it's like my city, it's the most dangerous place you can be. So when your kids are stepping outside saying they're going downtown, you would think that the police presence would really be strong down there and that they would get there. But every time they get there, it's always too late. And you don't want that to be your kid, right? Now, police found several people shot in the street and the sidewalk when they arrived. Now, moments later, an officer identified a man shooting a handgun, in a large crowd. The officer shot several times at the man, likely hitting him before the man dropped his weapon and fled the scene. Now, he done fled the scene, so we're on the lookout, right? In any hospital where this brother might come up, and with that wound, and he can be arrested for this senseless shooting in a crowd of people like that, man. That's just uncalled for, right? At least 5 different handguns was used in the mass shooting, 2 of which was recovered by the police, right? Now, the tragedy may have been the result of a physical altercation, which it was, because I can see it. We see it right here between one of the men who died in the shooting. That was the man in the white shirt. Now, you guys seen in that video, that man pulled out that gun and then he didn't use it, right? He ended up getting shot and killed. Philadelphia Police Department Commissioner Daniel said that these individuals eventually began firing at one another, with both being struck, one fatally, the city's top cop said. So the guy who pulled out the gun in the white shirt, you can see he's holding the gun in his hand while his partner is steady trying to fight this guy. So I guess the guy in the dark black shirt who was shot, he ended up on the ground and he ended up shooting back, hitting the guy in the white shirt, killing him. Now, man, bro, this is just crazy. This happens every week, and I'm sure whatever they was fighting about, was it enough to lose your life over the weekend? Was it enough? Did you see all these people running for cover, ducking for cover like it's the Wild Wild West? And every weekend this happens in one of our cities, right? Now, there was a rash of mass shootings across the country. I mean, there was one in Tennessee over the weekend. There were like 12 mass shootings over the weekend. And like I said before, the one I showed you in that clip, Philadelphia, was just one of the 12 shootings that happened over the weekend, right? And this is just getting out of hand. I think, we got to keep our head on the swivel. For everybody out there who's listening to me, all my subscribers, all the people who subscribe to my channel, be safe. Anybody who's listening to me, even if you're not subscribed, be safe out there. Watch your surroundings. Watch where you're going. Watch the people you hang with. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of snaky ways. People got a lot of snaky ways nowadays. And it's just getting worse and worse. And like I said before, if you guys are praying for peace, we can all pray for peace. But I don't think peace is coming on the horizon no time soon. I don't know what your religious belief may be, but I think it's 11:55 on that clock, and we only got 5 minutes left in the light. And to me, that's how I feel. We got 5 minutes left, and it seems like in the span of life, those last 5 minutes is just getting worse and worse. Rowdy Nation TV, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. It all helps out. Do one of the 3 if you can't do all 3. Rowdy Nation TV, we out.